Good morning, everyone. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to create a bill watch on Legis. So the first thing we need to do is go to legis.iowa.gov. That's going to bring us to this main page. Once you're on this main page, you're just going to scroll down until you see under the popular links, there's a bills and rules watch. So we'll click on that. Once we get to this page, you will need to create a new account if you don't currently have one. If you do have one, you'll just sign in. But if you don't, we'll create an account. So let's go there. Here, we're going to need to put in our information. So we're going to put Connie Citizen and then my email address. Okay, just making sure that's right. Okay, and then we're going to put an email password in here. Click I'm not a robot. I agree to terms and use, which of course you can always click on. It'll bring up a new page and you can go over what the restrictions are, et cetera, for the terms use. But you just click on I'm not a robot, click on the check mark, click create account. Okay, and then it says an email is going to be sent to the address provided. Please click on the link on the email or paste the link into your browser to confirm, then you'll be able to log in. So we're going to go to our email and we're just going to chill here and wait. For you guys, it'll happen right now. Okay, so here is that email. So you're going to get this. It's going to look like this. It's from webmaster at legis.iowa.gov, and you're just going to click on the link here. And again, this is going to bring us up to this page again, so we can close out the old page. We can click I'm not a robot, and we can log in. Awesome, right? So here at the legislative portal, we can do a couple of things. Today, we're going to look at the bills and rule watch though. So we're going to click on this. Okay, so now that we've made it to this bills and rules watch page, you are going to see this awesome little tool over here. And that's what we're going to utilize to be able to get the emails and things sent to us so that way we can follow these bills. First thing you have to do though, as you can see, like all of these things, you can't add anything right now because it's all grayed out because you have to create a collection first. So go over here and click on the please create collection and then you could just put bill watch here or whatever you want to call it. And we'll save it. So now that it has a collection, the collection is going to be up here. And then you can make choices. Now you can decide what you want to do. So you could do it by bill number. So you could click on that little arrow and that's going to bring up the Senate and the House files and all of that. There is an HF, let's see, House file 424, I believe. A bill for an act. So that this brings it, once you click on it, it brings up a summary right here. And it says a bill for an act relating to the establishment of work without worry program under the medical assistance program for employed individuals with disability, including the effective date provisions. So this, in my opinion, is a great bill because obviously there are people who have medical disabilities that need to keep their Medicaid, but they can't work. Because then they'll make too much and then they'll be dropped from their like life-saving resources that they need. So obviously they're like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to be poor for the rest of my life because I absolutely need this Medicaid. Unfortunately, that's the system we currently have. This is supposed to allow people to be able to work without worry that they're going to lose that life-saving um, aid that they need. So it's a really great bill. Definitely recommend that encourage your senators or your actually this is the House, so your representative to vote for it when it comes up. But we're going to go ahead and watch it. So we're going to click add document over here because we've got the HF424. If we hadn't clicked on it over here, so let's say we had just typed it up here, HF424, right? We could click off of it and then it's still going to bring it up. Once this is here, once this like little summary piece is here, that's when you know you can add it. So then we're going to add document and then we're going to scroll down here And then we have collection rules, which is up here, which we're not doing because we're adding it by document. So this is the documents down here, and this is the HF424. So this little section is going to let you do a couple of things. One of them is you can click on this, and that will bring up the bill. As you know, we have done bills in the past, or in the last episode, we did some bill information, but I'm just going to give you a little bit more now. So this one, it looks like House File 424 was done by Josh Turek. And this is this little section up here. This is the summary section. So that's not actually part of the bill. This is just like the introduction, basically. This part down here is the actual part of the bill, and it goes all the way down until you see something that says explanation, which is right here. So this is the end of the bill at this explanation on line 34 here. This explanation, that's where they put it in layman's terms as to why they think the bill is necessary, et cetera, et cetera. The different things that the bill is doing. So that's usually like the boring first part that says the bill's doing this, the bill's doing that, the bill's undoing this or that or whatever. You know what I mean? And then it usually explains why. Yeah, which is pretty great. So that's just a little bit more details and stuff. Obviously, there are underlined things and sections and things like that. So section 1 is obviously a brand new section. So all of this is new. Section 2 is a new section. So all of this is new. Section 3, Section 4, Section 5. Like all of this doesn't look like it's amending any previous bill out there or previous law out there. It is just all incredibly new sections. So that's great and everything. This is the current bill. There's another bill that's like it that's actually, I think, that's gonna be voted on this week. I think that's HSB 241. So we'll look that one up too. But this one has only been introduced. This one was introduced on the 17th of February and hasn't gone anywhere yet. So since we're getting close to that final date, we don't know if it'll actually get assigned to committee or not. But you know, we're watching it, so we will find out. So we're going to go back to, because this opened up a new tab, so we're going to click back on this other tab, and we are going to pull up that other bill actually. So that way we can see some more information. HSB 241. That one was added. So that time when I typed it, I just typed HSB whatever it was, 241, and I hit enter, and when you hit enter, that actually just adds the document. So it kind of cuts some steps there. I should have done it slower, but that's okay. It's down here now. So we have this one, which isn't going anywhere. Again, we can see that here. If we click on the little down arrow, it's going to open up this little drop box basically, and it says that it was introduced and it was tied to topics, but it hasn't done anything else. If we open up this one, however, I believe, yep, we have a subcommittee meeting that's happening on Tuesday at noon. So this one was introduced. It was assigned a subcommittee. It looks like there was a subcommittee meeting scheduled and a committee meeting scheduled for the 25th as well. And then this just says subcommittee meeting still for noon. So I'm not sure why this has a subcommittee meeting and then a committee meeting and then back to subcommittee meeting, since it usually goes subcommittee and then it has to be passed or whatever, and then it gets assigned to a committee meeting unless they're trying to like push it through quicker. And then sometimes the subcommittee and committee meetings will both be scheduled, but then it'll just say both of their times like this and it won't have extra stuff. But it looks like this was originally tied. Nope, this was, yeah, it's still the same thing. This is just tied to specific topics. So whatever, either way, it's going to subcommittee at noon this week. So that is something to watch. So that's exciting. If we wanted to add a note here, we could add a note. It looks like this was introduced. It is going to Norman, Meyer, and Turek. But it doesn't say who actually introduced it. We can click on this here and that'll pull up a new one. It looks like it was, this one was by Nordman, was the one who actually introduced it, and this one was by Turek. So they're both similar bills. They're both doing the same thing. One's a Republican, one's Democrat. You know, right now there's a supermajority of Republicans in the House, so the Republican bill is more likely to pass than the Democratic one, even if they're relatively the same thing. So, but this one I'm just going to put work without worry. And this one is sub on 2-25. And then I'm going to hit this little save icon over here, and that's going to, oh, it doesn't like dashes sometimes. Yeah. So sometimes it'll have like a pop-up like that happened, and that's just because I put a hyphen in there. It doesn't like it when I have hyphens. So just put in a slash or change it to a period or change it to whatever if you do have a hyphen in any of your things. So I did add that because when it pulls up again, this note stays up here. So like if I had a whole bunch of things on here, I'm going to see this note and I don't have to come through and like click every single one and be like, when's that going to sub again? When's that going to whatever? And so I just kind of keep track with my little notes here. This one is also work without worry. So I'm going to click that here. But this one again was only introduced. So this one's just introduced. One thing that I wish was different is I wish that this updated where it was in the process, and it's not. So I don't know. Maybe it does. It says it's for type, but yeah, I just wish because it says legislation introduced, but I just wish that this was instead of by type, it would say like where subcommittee, committee, where it was at, so that way you could kind of sort by where it's at. But whatever, it is what it is. So that's that. That's how you add a note. If I want to add more to this note, I can just click on this again. Oops, I'm sorry. That hides the note. If you want to add more to the note, you click on the paper and the pencil over here, and then you can add more and then just save over here again, right? And there you go. So that's pretty great. If you want to do it by a legislator, so let's say that you are a big fan here in Potawatomi County. Most of us are covered by Brent Segrist. So it goes by if they're representative or senator. So he's a representative. So senators are first, and then we go representative, and then it goes by last name. So Segrist is S. Oh, Josh Turek. That's one of the people that is over Potawatomi County. So we'll add a rule here for Josh Turek. And so legislation by Josh Turek is one of the rules. So any bill that has been sponsored by Josh is going to pull up now. So all of these have been sponsored by Josh, which is great. Obviously, he's working hard. That's awesome. You can go through, and again, you can do all of the same processes. You can, lower these down, see where they're at, see if they've gone anywhere, add your note, do whatever it is that you need to do to that. So I think that's a great thing to do. One of the things that you can do as well is you can go over to topic. So let's say you care a ton about fishing. So we click on F and then we go find fishing, FIS. So it looks like there's fish, fish and game protection fund, and fishing. So let's click on fishing and then we'll click add rules. And then we just want, for this, you can pick whatever you want. Usually I just pick legislation because that's going to be like the bills and stuff that I can comment on that I care about. So we'll click on that and then we'll go down there. So if we click on this, it's going to highlight all the ones that have to do for fishing. So see how they all turned red? I can unclick that and then click on the ones by Josh Turek, and that's going to highlight all the ones that are Josh Turek. So that's pretty great too. Let's say after I added fishing, I was like, whoops, I didn't mean to do fishing. I wanted to do floods or something. You can click on it and then you can click this little trash can and then click yes, and that's going to remove it. So that is basically how you go in here to follow all of this. So let's say we're done here. So let's go portal home. Let's go Iowa legislator, bills and rule watch. When we bring this back up, you see over here, once we have a new page, like once it's once you leave it and then come back into it, it updates this thing over here. So we've got meetings on the bills coming up. So subcommittee meeting on the 25th, and here's the so it has the date, the time, and the bill that you can click on. So this is a great way to be able to be like, hey, I want to make a comment on that. I want to do that. Unfortunately, you can't just click here and then get a comment. You actually have to go back and do what we did on the other video, and that's like go through the whole process of it's on the 25th, so you have to go back to, committees and schedules. You have to go to schedules and house, and you have to go to the 25th, and then after doing all of that, you have to remember what the number is. So I don't remember what the number is. um, but yeah, and then you can make your comment over here. So it's kind of quite a process to do all of that. I wish there was like a quicker, like a link that you could click to comment right away for stuff that you cared about. But, baby steps. It's the government, right? We got to work with what we've got. So we're back here at the bills, rules, and watch. We have our bills that we're looking at. We have our legislation, rulemaking. So if there's like a specific rule that you care about, so Environment Protection Commission, you could click on that and you could add everything that has to do with that. You can go even further down for the specific chapter if there's something very specific that you really care about. Renewal applications for the application renewal process for engineering and land surveying. Like if you were really into that, you can geek out on all of that. You can also do it by category if you have like a higher category you want to do. And then these can be, like agriculture can be minimized as well. So like you could care about agriculture, so then fair and fairground, then state fair, right? Like you can make it as specific or as broad as you want it to. So all of that's great. Step 3 is receive notifications and check for updates. The notifications you get are going to be in your email. So tomorrow, I will probably get an email stating that, hey, this bill is going to subcommittee. And it'll basically just say this, and it'll say what collection it's from. So if you have multiple collections, then it'll say what collection it's from. And yeah. So yeah, that's that's how you make a bill watch. That's how you do all of that. Add the notes. Let's see, we added notes. We edited them. We looked at these. We saw how to go through a bill. We explained the bill. Oh, if you really like all of these and you want to send them to somebody, you can export it as an Excel document, which is clicking this button, um, which is a little bit more of a process, but you absolutely can do that. You can also print them if you want to do that. That's up here at the top. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of really cool things you can do with this, and I think it's really helpful, especially if there's a specific topic that you really care about. Um, but anyway, that's it for this time, and good luck. Bye.